Alrighty. Okay, well, we're going to start in talking about our Facebook Live topic today. So let me introduce myself. I am Lisa Bronner. I run the Going Green with Lisa Bronner channels, Facebook, YouTube, and the website, lisabronner.com. I also happen to be the granddaughter of Dr. Emanuel Bronner, who is the founder of my family soap company, Dr. Bronner's. And so most people know Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, and that's probably the only product that they know. And they're surprised to find our whole range. Even within the Castile soaps, sometimes people are surprised to find we have the range of scents. We call it the scent rainbow because of how gorgeous the colors line up when you line up all the different scent labels side by side. But today I'm here to talk about Dr. Bronner's organic sugar soaps and organic shave soaps. They're definitely a lesser known product, but especially this time of year, they are my go-to, and many people use them year round. So first of all, what am I talking about? This is the sugar soap in the peppermint, of course. Every product we make comes in peppermint, among other scents. So this is the sugar soap, and this is the 12-ounce size. And then it also comes in the 24-ounce size. And then we have a refill half-gallon. And so all of these are all the same, just different sizes. And then it's a similar formulation for our shave soap, and it comes in this tube. And so these are the products that I'm talking about here today. To go over the scents of them, they come in 5 scents. So that's fewer than our Castile, which has 8 scents domestically. And so the 5 scents is, as I said, of course, peppermint, and then lavender, very popular scent there. Everything we make also comes in the unscented. And so we have the unscented, always baby blue in its color. And then this is my favorite one, which is why it's actually popped up already. This is the lemongrass lime. And this is unique because it's the only one of the sugar soaps that has a scent that doesn't come in the Castile. So the lemongrass lime, super nice scent. And then the last scent that we have the sugar and shave soaps in is the tea tree. Each of these have just very different characteristics. The base formula is the same for each of these, but the scent really changes just how they interact with you and how they might make you feel and why you might choose one or the other. So I'll talk about the scents in a minute. But first I want to talk about how we came up with the sugar soap. Why did we want to add that particular soap to our lineup? So we've had the Castile soap forever. My grandfather started making it. Well, I mean, his family had made soap. He was the 3rd generation soap maker in his family. So he had been making soaps. He was trained as a soap maker, master soap maker in Germany. He came to the States in 1929. He started, for a while, he worked for other people, and then he started making soap on his own in the late 40s. And the peppermint Castile soap, he had been making that for personal use, initially for his children, because he trusted it. He knew it was a super gentle, simple, safe scent and formulation for them. And so he'd been making that forever, the peppermint, and then he added eventually the lavender, eucalyptus, unscented, and all the rest of our scents. But it wasn't until my generation, with my brothers at the head of the company, that we added the lineup of the sugar soaps and the shave soap along with them. So why do we do that? A couple things. First of all, the Castile soap does not work in a traditional pump. And this was formulated specifically because people really like to put their soap in pumps. If you put the Castile soap in a regular pump, it will inevitably dry out inside the pump. That's because the soap is so concentrated, and as soon as a little bit of the water that's in it evaporates, it solidifies in the pump, it blocks it, or worse, it blocks it partially, so it causes the soap to shoot out and shoot in odd directions. So the Castile soap doesn't work in a traditional pump. And so because that was such a big consumer demand, we wanted to come up with a formulation that worked in a traditional pump. The second thing is that people would complain that the Castile soap isn't very thick. And the problem, I mean, you can add a thickener to the Castile soap. You can add a synthetic thickener and it would make it thicker. It doesn't change in the slightest the performance of the soap. It just makes it thicker. And so, but people really wanted a soap that was thicker. And so, we wanted to do that. We didn't want to use any synthetic thickeners at all. And so, so that was another challenge that we were facing and that we wanted to solve with this one. And then the third thing, and this is going to get a little bit into the nuance of certifications, is we wanted a product that was fully certified organic. Why is the Castile not? That is because of the way soap is made, like true soap. The way true soap is made is it's a reaction between an alkali and oils. And the blend of oils in the Castile soap is coconut, palm kernel, olive, hemp, jojoba. And that makes, that we take that blend, we react it with an alkali. To be organic, to be certified organic, you have to have a certain percentage of ingredients that are certified organic. The only ingredients that can be certified organic are ones that came from something alive, either a plant or an animal. Well, the alkali was never alive. It was a mineral. It is a mineral. And it takes a certain percentage of that mineral to make the soap. And the water doesn't count. And so with that percentage of the alkali, it actually bumped the whole formulation down. You can't say it's wholly certified organic. It's very controlled, the phrasing you can use. We can say made with organic oils, which it is, but the whole product is not certified organic. That is the difference with this soap, and I'll get to it in a minute. So the way that we solved those three things, wanting to use it in a pump, wanting it to be thicker, and wanting it to be fully certified organic, was with the addition of 3 ingredients. So we took the Castile soap base, same soap base, and we added 3 ingredients. The first was sugar. Sugar is, I mean, it's on here, a sucrose, it's sugar. Sugar is a natural thickening agent for one. Second, it is a natural humectant, and that means that it brings moisture into the skin. A humectant is an ingredient that brings moisture into the skin. All sugars are humectants. That's why honey is a good ingredient for skincare. Other things that are humectants, glycerin is a humectant. So we added the sugar to thicken and to make it more moisturizing. And then we added an ingredient called shikakai powder. And shikakai powder makes, it's from a tree, the cassia tree, and it's a pod that we take, and it's dried, and when you grind it up, it kind of looks like cinnamon. It makes that really fine dark brown powder. And this is an ingredient that has long been used in hair care and body care in Southeast Asia. It's got some softening. It's a very mild ingredient. It brings the pH down closer to neutral, so it's very gentle on the skin. It is a softening to the skin and to the hair, so making the soap super duper gentle. And then the third thing that we added to this was white grape juice. White grape juice does 2 things. First of all, white grape juice has a very high sugar content also, so added more sugar, making it more moisturizing. And also, because white grape juice is from a plant, something that was alive, it counts towards the organic content of the soap, unlike water. Water just isn't part of the calculation. And so the fact that the Castile soap contains water to keep it liquid, that water doesn't count towards the organic percentage, but white grape juice does. And so all of that together meant that the soap is certified organic, and you can see it front label right there, that we have the full USDA certified organic seal on there. It works in a pump, and it's super gentle and super nourishing, super mild on the skin. The pH of this, because of the shikakai, is lower than the Castile. The Castile pH is not terribly high. It's in the mid-9s. But the sugar soap is even less. And so for people who very sensitive skin or very easily irritated skin, that makes it a really great option. Now, the shikakai extra powder, as I said, it's kind of like cinnamon, and it makes the soap pretty dark. And sometimes that's a little surprising to have a soap that's kind of dark brown. And so as I showed you a moment ago, my lemongrass lime is open here. So I definitely want to show you what this looks like, so the Castile is like an amber color, but This is even darker. It's really quite golden. And depending upon the essential oil, because essential oils have their own color as well, it can make it even darker. And so sometimes that's a bit of a surprise to people that it's so dark. But it doesn't, act any differently because of its color. Obviously, we don't put in any colorants or bleaching agents because we don't put anything unnecessary into our products. By the way, feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I will get to as many as I can while we're live here. And if there are any I miss, I'll just answer them in the comments afterwards. I did see yesterday when I posted the announcement that I was going to be live today, I did see somebody asked a question there, so I'll go ahead and answer it. The question was, sometimes after they've been using the pump a while, the pump doesn't depress. So what's happening there? That's just a mechanical issue with the pump. So this is one of those pumps that when you open it, you twist it and you have to get it to the right spot for it to depress. So for example, this tea tree one isn't opened yet, so I can open it by doing that and then it pops up. Sometimes then if, you're using it for a while and it twists in another way, you miss that window that allows it to depress. So a lot of times that's the reason. Sometimes it's because the collar, we call this part the collar, has come unscrewed a little bit. So make sure that that's nice and tight. Because that interaction can also affect the pump depressing. Depending on how long you've been using it, like let's say you have a bottle, you've got your peppermint and you've been refilling it with your refill thing, so you've actually had this in use a while. It's possible you have dried soap in there and it's preventing it from depressing, so go ahead and take the whole pump off, run it under some water or soak it in some water, and that will dissolve any dried soap in there. So those are a couple of reasons why the pump might stop depressing. Okay, so for any of you who have joined the live more recently, I'm Lisa Bronner with Going Green with Lisa Bronner and the Dr. Bronner's soap making family. I'm here today talking about our sugar soap and our shave soap. All right, so I told you about all the ingredients that went into the sugar soap, and if you're just joining us, maybe go back and watch the beginning. But what makes these two different? So they actually have the exact same ingredients. The shave soap also has the shikakai powder, the sugar, and the white grape juice. It's really a matter of proportions. The shave soap is a thicker formulation. It has more of the sugar and more of the shikakai powder. It makes it thicker, and when you lather it up, it makes a really, really rich, creamy, lubricating lather, which makes it super duper for shaving. Now the issue, the thing that is a little like off-label thing to know about the sugar soap, the shave soap, this is the most moisturizing soap we make, is the shave soap. It's still a soap. It still cleanses. So if your skin is really dry, or you're using the soap on your hair and your hair is really dry, wash with the shave soap. And in the driest months of my year here, I switch to washing head to toe with the shave soap. It doesn't mean I'm shaving, but it's our most moisturizing soap. So one of the rhythms of my year is which soap I'm using. So my favorite soap, if you've stuck around me at all, read my writings, you'll know my favorite soap is the Almond Castile. Absolutely love it. I use it most of the year. But when the months start drying out, I will switch and go with the lemongrass lime sugar soap. I don't know if it's the green package. They're both green, different scents, lemongrass lime. And then when it gets even drier, here in Southern California, that happens, I'll switch and use the shave soap head to toe. So the other thing, I mentioned the shikakai extract, shikakai powder. Extract makes it sound like a liquid. It's not. It's shikakai powder. Is used in both body care, body washes, and hair because it's softening to the hair. And so that makes this soap a really good one if you have switched over to a soap regimen instead of a synthetic detergent shampoo regimen for your hair. But it does depend upon your hair type. So, for example, I wash my hair with soap. I wash my hair with the Castile soap. My hair, if you were to put some adjectives on it, it's pretty fine. It's moderately normal to dry. And of course, it's very long. The Castile soap works really great for me. I don't usually use the sugar soap on my hair because my hair is so fine. It kind of makes it a little too soft and it results in it being flat. And so in order to keep some body in my hair, I don't want it to be like super soft. But if your hair is coarser or of a texture that you need some softening, the sugar soap might be a great option for you. Or as I said, go ahead and wash even your hair with the shave soap as our most moisturizing option. If you do decide to switch over to soap, you've been using shampoo, you do need to do some figuring out what works best for your hair. It's a different body chemistry with soap. Soap has a pH that is slightly alkaline, and you need to use an acidic rinse on your hair. Again, there's a couple options and you have to find out which works best for you and your hair. Dr. Bronner's makes a citrus hair rinse, which is has lemon juice, orange juice, other citrus in it, makes it acidic, and it has more shikakai powder in it. Again, that's a little too much for me and my hair. I use lemon juice, filtered lemon juice. I have a lemon tree, so that's a really great use for my lemon tree. I just cut it in half with water. You can also use apple cider vinegar to get that acidic rinse, to rinse your hair after you've rinsed out the soap. Anyhow, so that's a little bit about hair care. Let's see, a couple questions that have come in. Mitchell, can you put the shaving soap in the sugar soap bottles? Yes. Yes. In fact, I don't know, I'm not coordinated, whatever, in the shower. Sometimes I do go ahead and put the shave soap, which comes in this tube and has, this kind of opening, and that's not even open. Sometimes I put this in a pump. It will work in any pump. If you're familiar with Dr. Bronner's lotion bottles, that's actually what I use a lot of times if I want to put my shave soap in a pump. Or if you have an empty sugar soap bottle, you can put it in a pump. It works great. And it's just, I don't know, a little handier in the shower. Okay, any other questions I'm missing there? Yeah, the question of why isn't the lemongrass lime made in the Castile? I don't know. That's not my decisions in the company. I do other things like talk to y'all. I don't know why we don't have the lemongrass in the Castile. I don't know why we don't have the almond in the sugar. These are the questions that we receive, and I just don't have an answer for that question. But we certainly are racking up the requests. And so if you want to be part of a movement, you can request one or the other of that. So I mentioned the scents, and I want to talk a little bit about them. So so we have the peppermint. And this is interesting because the peppermint is, of course, Dr. Bronner's iconic scent, and the peppermint Castile is super tingly, super refreshing. It's actually a blend of two different mint oils, Pepperita and Arvensis. And it's interesting that the peppermint oils come across a little differently in the sugar soap. The peppermint Castile is too cooling for me most of the year for the morning. I need something a little warmer. And so, but for some reason in the sugar soap, the peppermint doesn't come across quite as tingly. One of the reasons is because we put a slightly different mint blend. So there are thousands of mints. If you're a gardener, there are thousands of mints. And if you've ever had mint escape in your garden, it's hard to round up. But so we actually use different mint oils in the sugar soap. So the mint in the sugar peppermint is a mix of peppermint and spearmint. It makes a much sweeter mint. It's kind of a lot cozier, like think of like more of a mocha. Well, I mean, there's no coffee in it, but like think of more of a warm, winter peppermint. That's what this feels like. And I actually do use the peppermint sugar because I love that sort of coziness. Maybe it's because the almond, it's very much of a baking scent for me as well. Marzipan, amaretto, that sort of thing. And the peppermint here, it reminds me a little bit more of baking. And so that's a really nice scent, not as cooling, kind of a little bit more enveloping. The lemongrass lime, it's citrusy, very citrusy scent, and this is what I use most of the time when I use a shave soap and the sugar soaps. It's very fresh, very, very vibrant, and I really like that. The lavender is actually pretty similar to the scent in the Castile. It doesn't have the lavandin oil. If you notice, our Castile has two types of lavender, has lavender and lavandin essential oils. This just has the lavender. So again, it doesn't have that spicy note that the Castile has. A lot of people love that spicy lavender. It's not like the sweet floral. This is not spicy. It just has the lavender. So that's really nice and soothing. The tea tree, so it has the tea tree essential oil as well in it, and this, of course, is our go-to, especially if anybody has any skin imbalances, or tea tree is just such a wonderful addition with its natural skin balancing properties. It can really partner well with any sort of skin condition that people are battling. My boys, when they were going through their teenage years, one of them's still a teenager. Anyhow, when they were, having acne and stuff, they would shave with the tea tree shave soap. And so, because that would just help their skin. And then, of course, as with all of our product line, we have the unscented, and this is, we call it the baby unscented, just because it kind of crosses over. It's great for any babies and also anybody with sensitive skin. Like our unscented Castile, you can add your own essential oils to this and just, stir it up, mix it up. Or you can just go as is. Because of the sugar in this and because of the white grape juice, those ingredients have a scent a little bit. Sometimes unscented products, can have masking fragrances put in where you don't notice the natural scent of the other ingredients, but we don't do that. So the unscented is really nice as well. So let's see if any other questions have come in. I'm juggling. There we go. So do the pump presentation. Hey, Crystal, good to see you. If I recall, you're down in Mexico. I hope you're having comfortable weather there. Do these pump presentations come diluted? Yes. That's another thing to know about these. The Castile is more concentrated, but one of the ways, as I mentioned, we wanted to get these soaps to work in a pump because people really like their pumps and they didn't want to, they wanted it to be ready to go. So this has a higher concentration of white grape juice, and that makes it diluted already, ready to go as is. A little bit more on the pump topic. We did eventually realize with the advent of the foaming pump, that wasn't a thing when I was a kid, but with the advent of the foaming pump, the Castile soaps work fantastically in foaming pumps. A dilution of 1 part soap to 3 parts water is fantastic for the Castile in a foaming pump. And recently, with some customer questions and our own curiosity, we were looking at, well, can you put this in a foaming pump? I mean, people really like their foam. And yes. And we found that the 1-to-3 ratio actually works really well with this as well. I think just because of the thickness of this, it needs the same dilution of 1-to-3. So if you really like your foam, if you're going to go ahead and do that, I would go ahead and get the refill, so that you're not like wasting a pump packaging and that sort of thing. Get the refill size so that you can be refilling your foaming pumps. Okay, here's something funny. Last week in my live, I talked about why the soap sometimes turns white, and that's because it gets cold. And I also mentioned it's getting a teensy bit cold here, like our high today is 60. And so I'm noticing that there's a slight whiteness happening up here at the top of my sugar soap in this bottle. So that's just because it's a little bit cold. And that came straight from our factory yesterday. So yeah. So that is my little overview of Dr. Bronner Sugar Soap. If you haven't gotten to know this product yet, I really encourage you to. Great for this time of year. If you want to start with my favorite, my lemongrass lime, or my second favorite, which is the the peppermint. As I mentioned, it does come in a 12 ounce, which is nice and handy for like a sink. This one's really great for the shower or whatever works for you. And then we have the sugar soap, the shaving soap as well, which is a thicker formulation and even more nourishing. So if you think of any questions later, feel free to come and put them on the comments. I'll keep an eye on those and answer them in writing later. And then if you have any other live topics you would like me to address, either a green living topic or Dr. Bronner's topic, I'm happy to do that. Or a life in general topic. I mean, we're all trying to make our way here. So thank you very much for joining me today for this Facebook Live talking about the Dr. Bronner Sugar Soap and Shave Soap. And I will see you the next time we go green. Bye-bye.